you get to go to the Breezy Bowl XX tour? If not, come along with me. I got you. I have two nieces that love Chris Brown, and they happen to be sisters. And I don't know which one loves Chris Brown more, but my eldest niece, she has gone to too many of his shows and too many times on this specific tour. And so when she went to the show in Atlanta, I said to her, "Listen, the next time you decide to go, you need to call me before you buy that ticket." Well, she didn't quite listen. She did call me, but it was after she bought the ticket for the three of us to attend, herself, me, and her sister. And she calls me one afternoon and she was like, "Auntie Chaz, I got tickets to go see Chris Brown in Raleigh, North Carolina on October 14th. Can you go? And if you don't make it, I already purchased insurance to, cancel the ticket." And when she said that, that hurt me because I felt like she was trying to tell me that she bought an insurance just in case I decided I wasn't coming. And I always want to make sure that I'm a woman of my word, especially to my family. So in the moment, I was like, you know what? It's just 2 weeks away because she literally called me 2 weeks before. I'm like, I can just clear my calendar and I'll go. There's just something about spontaneity that just gets my juices going. So I was all about just taking the risk for the moment and just doing something that's so out of the ordinary for me. Like, I have never seen Chris Brown perform. And if I'm being honest, I don't even really listen to Chris Brown. I, I thought about trying to catch up on some of his latest tunes, and I just gave up on that. I didn't have time. But in attending the show, I realized that I actually know a lot of his music. I don't know how, but I did. One of the things that I was concerned about before even getting there was, am I going to be like an old auntie in the crowd? Are people going to be looking at me like, oh, why is she here? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that I definitely was not part of the old crowd at all. In fact, majority of the women that I saw were likely older than me. They came with their canes, they came with their walkers. Yeah, I kid you not. There were even people in motorized chairs. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Okay, never, never, never. I was shocked. These mothers were standing on line, waiting to get into the arena to see Chris Brown. The concert was at the Carter Finley Stadium, and I have to be honest, like, coming back from tour days where most of my performances were in stadiums or festivals, where the sound is just like lost. I'm so not the person that enjoys going to concerts where the sound can't be contained. Like, the musician in me, I want to hear every instrument. I want to be able to hear the cadences of the music. I want to feel intimately in tune to that performance. And I feel like you lose a lot of that when you do stadium performances. But I have to say that Chris Brown's performance, it wasn't that bad. And his sound men, in comparison to his opening acts, his sound men were on point. So we had Bryson Tiller, Shania I hope they don't take this down, but let me stop gabbing. I want to show you a little bit of the concert in case you missed
Outside the door, when you walking out, let's talk about it. Baby, this is karma, definition of hate. You should never go there. Your man, and he coming in his shoulder. His shoulder today. Anxiety, don't let the pressure get to you. You know we both get on my.
So my first takeaway about Chris Brown was that he is an amazing entertainer. I mean, he performed for 2 hours, and I mean, he danced his tail off. He sounded amazing. And, I don't know if he was live, but it certainly seemed as though he was, he was amazing. I really enjoyed his performance. He was in tune to the crowd, like loved, 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 loved all of it, except the bits that I felt like he hyper sexualized women. And I feel like clearly we know that that happens a lot in the entertainment business where women are over sexualized. And I think there's a part of me that I'm just like, I'm okay with you sexualizing women just a little bit. And I'm like, hear me out. And I mean the same for men. Like, that's a part of attraction. Not so much like, you have to be sexy, like, but I feel like it's what's your definition of sexy? Like, for me, a sexy man is like a dude who has his self well positioned, who's intelligent, who is, like capable, financially secure, that he knows who he is, that there's this quiet confidence, but just, you know, I don't even know what the word is, like enveloped in humility. Like, I think that is sexy. So if you show me a man, is that sexualizing him? If that's what you're making him out to be? I don't know. To me it is. But I felt like seeing all these chicks out here like, naked and things and just all the gyrations and all of that. Like, is that really necessary, Chris? Mr. Brown? I don't know. And there were actually kids in the audience. Like, people brought their children out. Like, are y'all okay? And I mean, I've seen other performers. I have. I've gone to other concerts. And y'all can say what you want, but Lord Jesus, that boy is a performer. He was like busy zipping through the air in his little harness. There was one point he was like right above me, and I was like, I'm gonna tickle your feet, coochie coochie coo. You're right there, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. It was it was amazing. It was an experience. I loved it. So one of the things that I was intrigued by was during the show, he did a little segment where it was recorded, pre-recorded. It appeared as though he was doing an interview, but clearly for the purposes of the tour, where he was addressing his experience after the incident. You know, the incident, right? You know, And so he talks about like experiencing isolation, not hearing from certain people not picking up the phone, and how it was hard for him. And like he was in a really difficult space trying to maneuver that and just feeling ostracized. And on the way home, my niece explained to me that the whole reason why it was called Breezy Bowl was because he hasn't been invited to perform at the Super Bowl. Now, I did not check my sources, okay? So don't come for me in the comments if this isn't right. But I just thought that was crazy that, and maybe it's not even correlated. Maybe it's not even related, but I guess in my mind and listening to my niece, having the understanding like, okay, yeah, he did something bad. I don't condone the actions that led to the isolation, but I think I was just considering and just curious at what point do we say he served his time? At what point does he get grace? I don't know. At what point do we accept that he did something wrong and he's trying to be better? You know? I don't know. Who decides that? is the person who decides, are they faultless? Are they blameless? Or who gave them the power to decide? I'm just curious. I'm not saying anything. I just curiosities, That was all. But overall, I loved my experience. I'm grateful that my nieces actually invited me to go. It was a memory that I'm so happy I got to share with you. And I think this is like, I don't know, I think this is one of many. I'll be back on November 5th with a new episode of Her Private Parts. Thanks for watching.